Today, I'd like to talk about a subject that's dear to my heart, and that is creating a miraculous life. I'd like to tell you that each of us has the power within us to step on the neck of fear and redirect that energy into making our lives exactly what we want it to be: joyful, rewarding, and the kind of lives that allow us to be the very best that we could be. In a miraculous life, we get to use all the gifts God has given us. We get to be fully and completely the person who makes full use of the talents and the abilities inherent within us to reach that goal of fulfilling our life's promise, that promise inscribed in our soul at the moment we came into being. So easy to say, you might be thinking to yourself, what about all the problems I have in my life? What about COVID? What about my health? What about having enough money? What about a job? What about my family? What about? You're right, I get it. I know difficulties exist. Some of the harsher realities of life include all of the above and more. They are the boulders in that river of life that interrupt the smooth flow of the water and cause those rapids of turmoil and disruption we try so hard to steer around and hopefully not crash head on into. But I never said that creating a miraculous life would be easy. It takes work to create a masterpiece, but you need to know and you need to believe that you have it in you to do it. Here's a few rules of the road on your way to creating that miraculous life. Rule number 1, let go of what no longer serves you. You hold on many times out of fear that there won't be something to take the place of what you have now. I will tell you there will be something. And you know what that something is? The miracles that you will create to fill the space. In order to allow those miracles into your life, you have to make space for them by letting go of what no longer serves you. You have to clear the clutter away. But what I have learned is that the way to start that energy moving is to get rid of physical clutter first. Once that physical debris in our life starts to move out, letting go of the bigger things like stale or toxic relationships, limiting beliefs, and unfounded fears becomes so much easier. Remember, when we release old energy, it makes space for the new. Here are some tips towards freeing the energy you need to create that miraculous life. Because the more energy you can free from what does not serve you, the more there is for the universe to work with to create with you what does. Our environment affects the way that we feel. It also reflects what's happening in our life. Therefore, when we want to start to make a change in our life or improve the energy in our space, we can start by simply making a change in our space. Let's begin with a feng shui practice of physically clearing away or changing what no longer serves you. And it's called the ritual of removing 27 things. Why start with 27? In numerology, 27 represents 2 plus 7 equals 9. And the number 9 symbolizes a full cycle. So it's somewhat inspirational to use 27 as a guide. But if you really want to super clear out energy and make room for the universe to start working on your heart's intentions right away, throw out 27 things a day for 9 days. If you miss one day, start the cycle again until you've done so for the total of all those 9 days. The idea is to create a whirlwind of energy, a new whirlwind of energy in your life. Those items can be something as simple as clothes that have been in your closet for years, dishes with chips, knickknacks you don't even like, whatever no longer serves your purpose. You probably don't even notice them anyway. Here's some guidelines. Once you start, get moving on those 27 things a day. If you're not sure about an item, hold it to your heart and ask if you want to bring the energy of that item into your new future. Ask, does it represent the me that I see as the ideal self in the future? Get rid of books, CDs, or audiobooks that have messages that no longer speak to you. Get rid of outdated food or vitamins and dispose of old medications that remind you of illnesses that you conquered. Throw away items in your kitchens that are cracked or unusual or unusable. Excuse me. Throw away items in your office like dried up pens, markers. Give away anything that holds an unpleasant memory or binds you to a past that you know is never coming back. As you let go, thank the item warmly for its previous usefulness, and then say goodbye to it with gratitude in your heart for the lesson learned. This makes the process joyful and deeply fulfilling. And after the 9 days are over, take one final look around and see what's left. Make sure it represents who you are now and who you intend to be in the future. It's a law of physics that says that nature abhors a vacuum. In other words, nature doesn't like it when things are empty. So here's where you start to create space for the universe to rush in and fill it up. This is why you also have to release old relationships that no longer work, because new and more wonderful ones must have the space to come in. You'll also notice a much greater ease when letting go of old ideas, feelings, positions, or anything that doesn't serve you anymore. And you notice that those miracles, your hopes and your dreams, will start to fill those empty spaces faster than you could imagine. Remember, trust in spirit to direct the reconstruction. Rule number 2, believe you are worthy of miracles. Self-love is the key to unlocking the flow of miracles into your life. It's the same with the universe. It will only give you what you feel worthy to receive. How do you know when you have self-love? One way to tell is you feel content and at peace, regardless of outside circumstances. You don't depend on someone else's love in order to feel validated or good about yourself. When you have self-love, you're open to letting love in, and you're open to letting those miracles happen. If you find it easy to let others love you, you probably have a good amount of self-love. When you don't have it, you block the miracles because you don't feel worthy. So you energetically, subconsciously push them away. And understand that self-love is different from self-esteem, because self-esteem is conditional. Self-esteem is, I love myself because, and you fill in the blanks. For example, I love myself because I'm smart. I love myself because I'm a caring person or I'm kind. But all those becauses make the love conditional. Self-esteem is something that you earn. Self-love is unconditional. It's an experience of love for yourself, no matter what's going on. It doesn't depend on being smart or kind or pretty or talented or even a loving person. It doesn't depend on you being anything at all. It's about an unconditional acceptance of yourself, no matter what. Rule number 3, never visualize what you don't want. Albert Einstein once said, imagination is the preview of life's coming attractions. If we want to manifest anything in our lives, seeing it clearly in our mind's eye helps to anchor the feeling in our body. In fact, research has shown that the mind can't distinguish between something real and something imagined. So the mind begins creating new neural pathways based on whatever we imagine, as if it's really happening in the physical world. Once those neural pathways are established, we can effortlessly do what we had imagined ourselves doing. But this law of visualization can work against you if you make the mistake of visualizing what you don't want to happen, or be the person that you don't ever want to be. In fact, worry is the process of actively visualizing what you don't want. And most people spend so much of their day unconsciously visualizing what they don't want. So how do you visualize the miracles you want to bring into your life? Visualize yourself in the future as if you were already in possession of a miracle you want to create in your life. See yourself as if it were occurring to you right now. Imagine the scene in as much detail as possible. Who are you with? What do you see? What do you smell or taste? What do you hear? Engage all of your senses. And most importantly, what you do feel, not just with your hands, but with your emotions. The most effective times to visualize are first thing in the morning, before you get out of bed, when your mind is fresh and open, or after your meditation practice, when your mind is already in an expanded state, and before you go to bed at night. So the visualization works its way into your subconscious while you sleep. After doing this for a short time, you'll start noticing that those things that you intend, those things that you visualize will start happening for you in the most effortless and miraculous way. And now I'd like to leave you with a quote from a well-known book, much loved by many, which shows us that there can be so much wisdom in simplicity. Always remember, you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Christopher Robin to Winnie the Pooh. And I thank you.